Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel In Nature Tarot, or if you are new with us, welcome. Since this year, 2020, has been full of challenges, full of changes, full of weird stuff happening, I thought it would be a really good idea to focus on the end of the year, what to celebrate. I mean, there's so many things to celebrate. You know, for one, you're here, you're healthy, you've made it through this crazy year of 2020. You know, through all the hurdles and stuff like that you thought that you couldn't get through, you did. Like, well, you've made it. And so, I don't know, I thought it'd be just really fun to acknowledge what you have accomplished this trying year of 2020. Yeah, we're just gonna dive right into where you should take some time and acknowledge really where you should celebrate the small things in life from this crazy year. So we have group 1, group 2, and group 3 with these beautiful blue stones. So feel free to fast forward to your timestamps listed down below in the description box and in the comments, and I'll see you at your beautiful celebratory reading. Hello, my beautiful group 1s. If you chose this kind of raw blue stone, this is your reading. If you know what this is called, please let me know down in the comments, because it was my grandfather's. All these blue stones were my grandfather's, and I have no idea what they are or where they came from. Anyway, we are going to jump right into basically what you've accomplished this year, where you should take time to really celebrate your successes. And I think it's also a really good idea to maybe just do a little journal prompt. It could even just be bullet points if you're not a journaler. Kind of just like go over the year and like look back to where you were December 2019 versus 2020, what you've accomplished, maybe not just in life in general, but maybe internally as well. You know, like really stopping into acknowledging the little successes of this year. You know, I think one of the big successes is that you've made it this far and that you're here and breathing and alive today. I think that's a beautiful success. There's so much to be grateful for. But yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. We're gonna go to your tarot first, and we're just gonna see what pops up. So group 1, what do they have cause for celebration in their beautiful lives? What do they have cause for celebration today, the end of the year? They've made it. So let's really address the good things in life. All right. So let's see what we got here. So we've got 8 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the Chariot. So I have seen that you've really been assessing what's important in your life this year. And I think we all have to a point, but you especially are really acknowledging what fills your cup, like what brings you joy, kind of where you want to bring your life. I think you've really stopped to assess like where you're living. Is this really where I want to live? Is this really the job I want? And you're really like, taking steps to better your life into a completely different chapter that you didn't even think that you could possibly even open. And this is just like, celebrating that you've made it through it, and you've learned to kind of accept and go with the flow of what gets knocked over. You're kind of just trying to go with the flow and let go of the control and just, make your life better for like a better purpose. Like, I think you're one of the people that have been called this year. I've noticed many people in my, I guess, larger friend group, not my, tight-knit, but like just acquaintances that I've known, worked with, whatever, that a lot of people are just changing professions and moving out of cities and just really, changing their life completely, like 180, and that includes myself. And I feel like you're one of those people but it's ultimately like filling you with a lot of joy and happiness. And then the other two cards are all about like action. You've really like put your life into motion, which I think is a beautiful thing, because it's so easy to talk about what you want to do. It's so easy to complain about what's wrong. But you this year are like, well, this is what's wrong and I don't like it, so I'm going to fix it. And so you've taken these really fast action steps. And I feel like you're going to see your hard work paying off sooner than later. You know, I think really acknowledging the fact that you've, and it's not like action out of like just to do something. It's very well planned and thought out actions. And I see you just making your life the best that you want it to be. Like you're finally taking up creative endeavors that you've always talked about. You're finally like quitting that job that no longer serves you, but you're doing it in a smart way. You're really like pushing yourself out of your comfort box this year, along with everything else that's been happening. So those are some really beautiful things to celebrate. Just the genuine growth and discipline it takes to grow and expand and to make yourself be a better person, and put that responsibility like on yourself to like do better, be more. That's really great to celebrate. And I think that's something to really acknowledge and write down. Then we have open your heart. So I think this year you've really opened yourself to the possibilities, the endless possibilities of loving yourself, loving another. Like I think you really opened yourself up. You cracked yourself open in a beautiful way, and like you became vulnerable and let people in to help you and give you advice and to guide you and to love you and just give you support and encouragement. And you found those people because you got honest with yourself, and you're like, well, what do I actually want in my life? Who do I want in my life? And then you took the steps to open yourself up to this. And like I just see that you've created really good friendships, partnerships, work colleagues. I feel like you've really elevated your circle. Maybe you've even gotten closer with family this year. I feel like there's so much that you just opened yourself to. You kind of like really like went with the flow of life and opened yourself up to the endless possibilities of the universe, which I think is a really hard thing to do, to let go of that control and just go with the flow. And so I think that's a big key to celebrate, you know, that's really beautiful. And we have envy. I am the same as everyone, but with different challenges. And then we also have perseverance. I know what I can do, whatever I set my mind to. Yeah. So this year, with these action cards, you really just like stuck it out and really persevered through like all the crap that came up. You really just kept on pushing forward and like wouldn't take no for an answer. Like you were like, no, this is what I want to do. These are the people I want in my life. You really like just pushed and pushed and pushed. And with this envy card, I feel like you let go of comparing yourself to others, or you're like working on the process of letting go and being jealous, and like kind of seeing that we're all in the same playing field, and everyone has a choice as to what they want to do with their life. And you're seeing people's perspectives with a more open mind. Like you're really just seeing where people are coming from and understanding that everyone has their own stuff to deal with, which is a very noble thing. All right, and we've got intuition and pride. Yeah, I feel like you've really stepped into this self-care, self-love, really like open yourself up and really just yeah, being proud of who you are and what you want, and going after your goals without any shame or resentment or excuses. You're just like, no, this is what I want out of my life, and I'm going to go after it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with pride, because this is what fills me with this oomph. And then I feel like also another thing to celebrate is you've really heightened your intuition. You know, you really were listening to your intuition to help guide you through all this, which I think is the only way that you were able to really push through this, is because you opened yourself up to the possibilities and just listened to your intuition. And it's going to lead you to some really beautiful places next year, because, you know, hard work pays off. You know, sometimes it takes a little while, but I think you know that. But I think just, yeah, you trusting yourself and your intuition and your ultimate knowing, it's a beautiful, beautiful gift. And then we have conclusions are within reach. And we have empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Yeah, I think this year you've really realized how sensitive you are. And sensitive is not a bad word, like to be sensitive. It's empathetic. But it's also like you've learned to be empathetic, but also not take that on. And I think you've learned to separate what's yours and what's other people's feelings and thoughts. And I think that's just great, because you can keep your energy to yourself instead of expanding it and like just exhausting yourself beyond means. So I think you've really learned to listen to your intuition, to listen to yourself, and to, let go of all these feelings that aren't yours. Like really letting go of what's not yours and finding what is yours. And then conclusions are within reach. Yeah, I feel like you're really seeing things come together finally after putting all this effort into this year. And that's amazing. And really, really great news that everything is coming into place and that you just got to keep on going. Yeah. So that's all I have for you, group number 1. If you like this reading, please let me know. Give the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I do have personal readings available, and they are live up on Etsy, which the link is down below in the description box. And until next time, take care of yourself. All right, my beautiful group number 2. This is, if you chose this stone, this is your reading. If you know what stone this is, please let me know down in the comments, because they are my grandfather's blue stones, and I have no idea what it is. It just reminds me of a shark tooth. But this is your reading for what deserves a beautiful celebration, because you've made it to the end of this insane year, but beyond just health and getting this far, we're going to dive deep into what you've accomplished this year for yourself, spiritually, energetically, personally, and so on. We're just going to see what comes up of what deserves a little celebration. And I think along with noticing your celebrations, I think it's also important to maybe write a bullet point of looking back at where you were December 2019 versus like today, and really look back at what has unfolded, because I think it's always really beneficial to look back at where you were a year ago, because it's hard to look back a couple days because it was just a couple days ago, but looking back a year ago and just really acknowledging that you've made it so far. You're doing great, you know? So let's see what else the cards have to say for you. Group 2. What deserves a beautiful celebration? Did one flip? I can never tell. All right. All right. Wow. All right, so we've got 7 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and 8 of Pentacles. You, this year, have really put a lot of time and effort into your creative endeavors. You have followed your heart, your passions, your creativity, and you're just investing into this like passion project that you've had, and you've really put a lot of time and effort and energy and dedication, and you've really like put a lot of fire and drive behind what you've been working on. And you've really, like, with the 7 of Pentacles, with patience, and 8 of Pentacles, just like keep on going. Like, maybe you've been making money off of this career. Maybe you've started like this creative endeavor from scratch this year, and you're actually noticing an income from it. And you've just really this year stepped into your creativity, like stepped into finding your calling and finding what really makes you happy, and like really doing that as a profession. Like that's something that you've really been putting the steps into, which is amazing and great. And I really encourage, we need more creativity, we need more art, we need more healers, we need more people doing things that drive them with passion, because going into 2021 and further, I think we're going to see our old systems no longer serve us. Corporations are no longer going to be satisfying us in the ways that they were. We're going to be really wanting more individuality, more creativity, more uniqueness, unique people. And I think you already have a really good head start on that. And you're really just following your heart. With this Knight of Wands, you're just following whatever your intuition is saying, like, this is what we have to do. You're just going with it. And I think that deserves its own golf clap. Yeah, I feel like you're really just owning your dreams, which is great. Yeah, we've clear out the old. Like, you are just really stepping into this newer power. You're really awakening yourself to what you really want. And I feel like you're not even in the same headspace as you were last year. I feel like you've really opened yourself up to the possibilities of change. And I feel like you've even just really worked a lot on your mental health. And really, how do I explain this? Really getting yourself in a less toxic thought pattern, I guess. You've really been working on thinking positively and manifesting and really contributing to your dreams and really like having the faith that things are going to work out. And I feel like you've figured out what works for you this year. To continue to go on. I feel like you've figured out how to notice when your thoughts are derailing. You've noticed when you've gotten lazy. You've noticed how to turn yourself back around, which is what I'm getting. And I feel like you're also clearing out the old, as I think most people are, old stagnant friendships, relationships, ways of communicating that just aren't really working. I feel like you're really just shaking off the old this year into this new way of being. And I think ultimately the world is shifting as well as you, which is great. All right, growth. Yeah. I want to expand my aware consciousness and my awareness. And we have freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Yeah, again with you just getting out of your own way and really allowing yourself, like your soul, to grow and to really connect with this higher power. I feel like you're really as well as like following your dreams and your creative passions and what ultimately serves you, but also the higher good, I think you've been actually doing too. You've also been really acknowledging that you want a different way of thinking, and you've grown a lot. You've changed. And I think a lot of people, maybe your old friendships, like they don't really get you anymore. And that's fine, because, you know, friendships and people come into your life for a reason, you know, and sometimes it's not, you know, for the rest of your life, and that's okay. Everyone has a chapter that they go through. And I think you're really starting to see that you want more out of life, out of your experiences, out of the people that you hang out with. You're really expanding into this more spiritually in touch, more sensitive, digging deep into your shadows and becoming a better person and growing, which is beautiful, deserves a very big reward. Completion and financial discipline. Yeah, with all this work, with all these pentacles going in, I think you've really gotten serious about your finances and budgeting and where your money is going and how much money you need to make, and being really smart about that, because you're running your own business now, or you're about to, and so you need to have that under your belt. And I feel like you're getting really good grips on financial discipline and having things in order and having a budget and having like a spreadsheet of what's due and when it's due. And then with completion, I feel like, yeah, you're coming to the end of a cycle of your old self and breaking out into this newer self, newer being, which I think is beautiful. And I think a lot of people have been going through massive shifts, and I don't think your year's been easy. But I do celebrate that you've come so far. All right, and communication is key. And we have lifting the veil. Yeah, you've been really working on your communication skills. Like you've really, that's one of the things to celebrate, is you really worked on ways to express yourself and to be honest with people. And I think that's really hard to do. I think you stepped into this power of being honest, even though maybe it wasn't the nicest thing, the nicest way to do it. I mean, you didn't do it in a mean way, but it wasn't, you decided to be more honest with people and stop trying to lie to people and lie to yourself. You're just like, no, this is how it is. I'm just going to say it how it is. So very good. Very good. And then lifting the veil. Yeah, you're noticing, again, with clearing out the old, you're noticing all this stuff that doesn't serve you, and you're asking and showing the universe that you want more. You want better people, you want a better way of living, you want to help people in some way or inspire someone in some way, or some people. But I think overall you're just, you're lifting, you're shedding skin like a snake. You're shedding your old skin and stepping into this newer, more beautiful, more aware version of yourself, which is great. Good job. That's all I have for you, group 2. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Give the video a like, subscribe. I have personal readings up and live on my Etsy page if that interests you. Link is down in the description box. And until next time, take care of yourself. Bye. All right, my beautiful group 3, this is your reading with this blue stone of what needs celebrating for this crazy year, or the end of this year. And if you know what stone this is, please let me know down in the comments, because it is one of my grandfather's stones and I have no idea what it is. It's blue, that's all I know. But along with looking at what needs celebrating towards the end of this beautiful, crazy, insane year, I also encourage you to kind of look back at where you were December 2019 versus December 2020 and either journal in it or put bullet points or whatever. Just make a note of it, because I think it's really important to just acknowledge where you were and how far you've come within a year. I think looking back a couple of weeks is not enough time to really see where you've come, but that's why I like a year, because you can just look back and be like, oh my gosh, like I was in a completely different place and situation and I have all these things to be grateful for. But yeah, even though this has been a crazy year, we are going to see what else besides your health and the fact that you are here, what else deserves a good old celebration for you. Woo! Okay. Okay. Group 3. So what I see that needs a little extra celebrating is the fact that you have just been slow and steady in your progress of this year. You've been trying to really keep your head above water, keep your cool, not let anything really knock you off your horse. You've kind of just been steady. And I feel like you've been the one that people come to when they have problems, and you've been the one, you could be an earth sign, the one that's just been stable and grounded. And I feel like you've done a lot of work to be the stable, grounded one in maybe your friend circle or your family or whatnot. Like, you've had a lot of like trying times this year, but you haven't really given up. Like, you've really just, you kind of put up your, if you're an earth sign, your horns, and you just kind of dug your feet in and just dealt with it. And you're like, well, you know what? I would really prefer to have had this situation turn out this way, but that's not how it happened. So I'm going to figure out how to deal with it. So I think you just learning creative ways to problem solve, I think, has been a really strong point of your 2020. And having that stability on your side and having that calm, collected energy for the most part. Maybe you've had some freakouts, but that's okay, because you always come back to this calm, cool, collected, stable, easy energy, because you know that this is where you feel at home. This is where you feel in control. You feel easy, you feel good. And so it's almost like you've learned how to master not letting things get in your way. Maybe you've learned to like even master your emotions to some point and like have control over your emotions, which is hard to do. And then I feel like you've just been really taking good care of yourself overall. I feel like, considering everything that's happened, I think you've really been like making sure you're eating healthy, your mental health is good, you're getting help when you need it, you're really expressing yourself, you're really nurturing yourself, you're really like creative, maybe doing creative projects on the side, like just like fun painting projects or drawing or doodling or whatever. Like, you've just been really honoring this more feminine, creative side of you. Even if you are masculine, you've been, so the more creative, or the more feminine side is much more creative, nurturing, self-care, taking care of others, that kind of thing. And the more masculine side is more structure, power, ideas, control, figuring out problems. But you've had this really beautiful balance of the two, I would say, of the masculine and the feminine energy, which is beautiful in itself and deserves a good old celebration. But I feel like you've really been like making sure that you take time to put yourself first this year, which I think is really important in just having good mental health and being able to get through struggling times or things that pop up out of nowhere, and you just, not things that you ideally want to deal with, but things that are there and you deal with them anyway. So I think that, yeah, overall you've just had this really beautiful look inside yourself and figuring out where you want to be and who you are. We have leap of faith. Yeah, I feel like, maybe you've like really stepped outside your box and really tried things differently. I think maybe you've really tried to figure out or trying different things to find your way. I think you've kind of had this, like, you think about your leaps of faith first, but then you kind of just jump and you're like, you know what, let's see what happens. Maybe you moved this year, maybe changed careers, maybe you changed like your friend group, maybe you had like changed a relationship, but all about like trusting in the divine order of the universe or God or whatever you want to call it. I think you've just had this really beautiful trust embedded in you this year. And you've just kind of been like going with the flow and like trusting that like if I jump, the universe will catch me and it will be in the perfect place as to where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing, which is exciting. Yeah, surrender. I can release my need to control. And pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Yeah, you've been a really loving energy this year, and you've just been really taking good care of yourself and like giving like good advice to other people. I see like you've been really trying to be there for other people too, because you've been maintaining yourself so you can give to others. And you're seeing the perspective of what people are going through, and you understand their struggles because you've been through them, or you can sympathize with them. And then again, with the leap of faith, you've really let go of the need to control the outcome, because you can't really control the outcome. Wow, it is just a cloudy day today. The sun is up, but basically, yeah, you've learned to just go with the flow of life and control what you can control, which is like yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your choices, etc. And you've let go of the outcome of what's not in your control, and you've kind of like let the universe steer you on this beautiful path. And I think you're going to be surprised what comes out of you just letting go of this control and going with the flow of life. I think you're going to be surprised as to see what pops up. All right, let's see what else we got here. Music and moderation. Yeah, I think this year you've really, I don't know, maybe you've like listened to some new music that's just really inspired you, or maybe you're creating music that's just really inspiring you. But I feel like music's been a really important part of your 2020, that you just, I don't know, maybe you found some really fun music and you just expanded yourself musically. Or maybe you're trying to make music, or you are making music, which is a beautiful form of self-expression, and keep on going with it. And then moderation. Yeah, you've learned to find that perfect balance of work and fun, taking care of yourself, taking care of others, just all of it. You've really been like mastering the moderation skill, which I think is a really healthy and helpful tool to have, that's just going to prolong everything. And take time to breathe out and be bold and make the first move. Yeah, interesting. There's a very like haziness around these moons, but I think you've really taken the time to rest when you need it, and then you've also taken the time to take action when you need it. I think you've had this really beautiful masculine, feminine action and rest kind of ebb and flow balance of your year, and I think that's something really beautiful and should be really acknowledged and celebrated, because I think it's hard to do, to balance that yin and yang, the good within the bad within the good, the balance of masculine and feminine. It's a very hard thing to do, and I think that deserves a big pat on the back. And last but not least, earth pulsing, the pulse of mother, slow down, time and nature. Yeah, I think you've really, clouds are down again. Sorry about the lighting, it's all over the place. I think you've really set aside self-care and a beautiful break that you probably much needed. I think you're more normally were a workaholic or a people pleaser or a take care of her or a doer, and I think you really, this year helped you stop and really slow down and take care of yourself and realize how important it is to take care of yourself and how good you feel when you do take care of yourself. So yeah, that's all I have for you, group 3. I think those are some really beautiful things to celebrate coming towards the end of this insane year, but you made it. So congratulations on that. Give the video a like. I'd love to hear from you down below. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And I have an Etsy page for personal readings up and live down in the description as well. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.